according to Newsweek, President Obama kept more than double the number of children in detention centers than the Trump White House. That's according to Newsweek. But you're not going to hear that from anyone. How did this all start? Well, the outrage is totally fake, and we know this because political activists began sharing a photo of the children that were detained in these cages, and that culminated on Father's Day weekend when the outrage went into a frenzy. Now, these pictures, as you know, were not real, but they saw how quickly they became viral. And so the left decided, here's a hot button we have to exploit. Now, those pictures that originally went viral, what happened? Those pictures that went viral were from 2014. This was happening in 2014. But it's not about Barack Obama, just like this isn't about Donald Trump. This is about a border problem, and specifically about families on the border. This has been a problem spanning decades and has involved the last 4 presidents. Don't take my word for it. I want you to do your own homework, and I want you to look some things up. President Obama, when he was dealing with it, he said that Congress has to act, pass a bill. So he pushed it off on Congress. Now that the president is unpopular with the press, they are making sure to let everybody know that only the president can fix this. That's untrue. Barack Obama was right. It belongs to Congress. Now, here's what nobody is explaining. This stems from a federal court case settled in 1997. It was a 9-year-long lawsuit against the government, and it's called Flores versus Reno. I want you to look it up. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody's word for anything anymore. Look it up, and please go to the original sources. I'll just trash me. Don't go to the Blaze. Don't go and read it from a second source. Go to the original source. It's Flores versus Reno, as in Attorney General Janet Reno. She was under President Bill Clinton, and the settlement stated that unaccompanied minors that enter the U.S. illegally must be released without unnecessary delay to either a responsible party, which was an extended family member, or a facility. So in other words, in this case, in 1997, the Supreme Court mandated that it was unlawful to hold an illegal immigrant child in federal detainment facilities. Now, this is really important. Why? Because if you come with your family, you, by law, with this lawsuit that was settled by the Supreme Court, Flores versus Reno, 1997, you cannot hold the children. They have to be released to a family member or a facility. Okay. So what happened? Well, when that happened and we started splitting families away under Clinton, George Bush tried to fix this because what happened? We started seeing a rise in human trafficking with children. People would come and say, yep, I'm a relative, and they weren't. And you started to see a number of children that were being human trafficked. You saw people come over the border saying that they were their parents, they would be released, and the children would go into trafficking. So President Bush signed what's called the Wilberforce Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act. What did that do? That codified Flores versus Reno. Now, everything was going along fine. We were still separating children and families from the Clinton administration, during the Bush administration, and during the Obama administration. But then there was this sudden, unexplained rush to the border in 2014. Well, what happened? All of these unaccompanied minors started rushing into the country. We had to detain them. President Obama put them in cages. I was there. It was awful. They were not only just detaining these kids and putting them in cages. The reason why we brought food and everything else down to them is because the country wasn't prepared. They didn't even know where to keep these kids. They were wrapped in foil blankets for a while. Yes, and that's why we said we need clothing, we need pajamas, we need blankets, we need food, we need toys, because these kids were coming with absolutely nothing. And they were being thrown on a cement floor, sleeping under tinfoil blankets. I thought that was wrong. You did too. Millions in this audience knew then it was wrong. That's why you raised $3 million. And that is nobody on the conservative side did that. No one stood up like this audience did. You knew it was wrong then.